What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Today or tonight, we're gonna talk about it's already past day. It's nighttime right now. Tonight, we're gonna talk about what this season's racing is, what I'm using for racing, what I'm gonna try to do in my travels for racing, and show you the gear I'm using tonight. So sit back, relax, grab a tea, a beer. I'm drinking some tea right now. Do what you guys do. I'm going to talk about what I'm using today. Kind of go about it. I've actually used this frame the last 2 years in racing. I've been really experimenting with it, going like high kV. I was doing 2850 kV at 6S, and then I was doing 2700 kV at 6S, and then I was using the LD Power Motor 3000 kVs, and I was using those at 6S, trying to see how battery life was during on the track. And I really hate to say it, guys. Even though you can pass somebody on a track with using such a high kV motor, it's it's kind of rough because after you do pass that one good pass on somebody, your batteries run out. Then you're babying the whole freaking quad all the way through the fucking finish line, which sucks. So I decided to kind of pull off on basically building these crazy drag quads that are trying to be built for a track but are not built for a track, made to be just doing straight lines. But I went back to the board and I go, all right, well, let me go back to my frames that I was using for racing, and let's just drop the KVs down. And I switched the stacks. I still love Flight One. I'm still gonna stay with Flight One. I've got like 10 stacks to do warranties with. I just don't have my money right now, and I'm broke, and I need to stay in the air, and I need to keep practicing. So I've switched my stacks up. I've been flying this for probably 2 months now. Really enjoy it. I kind of want to show you guys the new actual stack design. Not new stack design, it's actually pretty old. But what stack I'm using, the motors I'm using, and everything on that. So sit back and enjoy. I'm going to show you guys the video of it. I'm going to show you some of the pictures. That's actually all going to be live on camera. I'm going to be a little slow because I'm still new to this. I'll be switching back to my like 3 different cameras that I have. I'm pretty sure 2 of them are online right now with what I'm doing. So let me switch back. I'll tell you guys on the first. I already have one of the quads finished out, built. It is this thing right here. It's a M2 mini quads test bench, Crush. What I'm using with it is the Eco Motors. And guys, the Eco Motors, I've actually been flying it. Wow, the battery life and the power is pretty there for a cheap motor. And why I look at it is I kind of went on the assumption of I'm gonna build like 4 or 5 of these quads. Last time I went super expensive on all the hardware, and I went to the track. And after my season of racing, I destroyed almost all my hardware except for like 2 quads. And those quads weren't really race quads; those were just freestyle and a half medium range quad, and it just didn't work. So my back to the drawing board. I said to myself, well, let's be cost effective. Let's be not as cost effective as buying the DYS Simon Goop motors. Those aren't not great. I've tested one batch of them and they are horrible. Sorry, it's a $10 motor, but the Emax, they've been doing a lot of their testing, and I've been seeing a lot of people bashing these eco motors, and that's where I went to. I went to a 1900 kV on 6S eco motor, and the battery I'm using for my season this year, I'll probably be using 2 different styles. The first battery style I'll be using is going to be from Heli Nation. It's going to be a Talon. It is a 1050 6S, and I'll be using this on all my quads that I'm flying right now. Currently, I will be doing a live build on the second build of this quad. It's going to be the exact replica of it. And then I'll be doing a live build session on that quad. Let me switch. I'm going to switch the camera over so you guys can see the quad a little closer. Let me do here. All right. So let's get into this. In the Phoenix Cup when I was racing, they want you to have LEDs on it, and with this having LEDs, this thing is actually quite bright when you do plug it in. And how I like the LEDs, it's kind of cool. When the motors draw on the PyroFlip LEDs, they actually get brighter. That is actually pretty cool. So you can kind of tell when somebody's got the stick at full tilt and he's hauling ass. You can see these things bright up really quickly. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I'm also using my actual stack that I'm using is the Mamba. It is a 50 amp ESC. I've replaced like 3 of my race drones now with the Mamba stack. Surprising how good this Mamba stack does when you pair it with the eco motors on 6S. These eco motors on 6S, when you're putting the correct prop on, you're only pulling about 37 to 39 amps a motor. So that's pretty wicked for the Mamba. After we switch over, after I've switched over, I've got the Mamba in there with the whole stack, and then I know everybody right now is super PO'd at these guys, but the VTX I've used is pretty decent. I would not use this VTX for long range. I've seen it actually quit on 2 different quads. It has quit out on me on a long range incident, but on racing I've never had no problems with this quad, the VTX. But don't hate on them. It's a pretty decent VTX Spectrum. It is if you guys see it, it is the 25, 200, 800 milliwatt. It does have, and this is what it actually looks like. And then I do run all these kind of antennas. What is it called? The axes. And on most of my times when I am racing, if it's too windy out, I'll be running a GoPro on it. But if it's not, I won't be running a GoPro. And also, guys, I'm gonna show you my old setup from last year's racing of what I'm doing with this. I'm gonna bring it in. This is last year's setup. What I did last year. Let me bring it out. Is it hanging? It's actually hanging. Let me grab it. So my last year's edition was this quad. She still runs pretty good. Everything works. I'm having a little bit of the issues of I can't put it on 6S anymore, and that's where I'm going to. And this was the only 4S quad that I did have that was running 4S, but I was running the whole race flight setup in the FCN stack, and I was also running the Wild Willies. The Wild Willies are awesome. I will tell you guys, this motor on 6S, phenomenal, redonkulous speed, depending on what prop you put on. But I will let you guys know, under circumstances, these motors do suck a lot of juice out of a 6S battery, even when you're running it at 27. This setup I have not ran 6S on. I only ran 5S on this, but I do have another setup with the same motors on it running 6S, and it gives you god awful speed, but you have no battery life. Your passing power in this quad is redonkulous, but no battery life after you pass somebody. So that's what I was running into with running a really high kV. And guys, I'm telling you, I was putting on 1850 6S batteries on a quad like this, running these style motors on 6S, and I was still having a decent enough passing ability and being able to stay on the track for at least 2 to maybe 3 laps. But on the third lap, I'm dying out. So I thought to myself, maybe too high KV and 6S is too much for it right now. So that's the reason why I am doing the complete different setup. Now, you guys will see me build some more race flight stuff here soon, but this squad is going to be rebuilt in the Mamba stack, and we're going to be putting on the eco motor, so I have 2 identical quads running the identical exact same equipment. Now, I'm still running in this quad is the same Spectrum VTX, and it runs great and runs fine. But let's get into what all the stuff I'm using. Now, the motor is this bad boy right here. The the Max Eco. Now, yes, it was like a $12 motor. Right now, guys, it is on Get FPV for like $10 or $10.50. Decent motor. It's a 2207, got enough power. I bought a crap ton of them because when I race, I blow up motors. I still have like 5 motors, 6 motors that I've completely exploded off metal gates or on pavement and cement, or grass gets into them and burns the bell up. Just crazy stuff like that. And for this season, I bought a whole crap ton of these motors so I can start practicing and really finding the power range with these motors and prop style. What's going to be best for this motor and power. I hope if I do it right, I'm still probably going to be real pitchy with these 1900 kV 2207s. Now, just with that, with these two things, guys, it ran me now for my race rig, just for the guts and the powertrain. I'm looking at only spending about $90 instead of on my powertrain for the Flight One back in the day, probably like $130, $140, and that's not motors though. That's only ESCs and brain. Now, when I get all my race Flight One stuff back, I can't wait to go back. But it's still nice when you guys are racing. I'm gonna let you all know it is very nice to have an option if Flight One decides to poop out on you and is not doing well on the track, or a firmware update just is not working correctly. You could switch to a beta flight and get all your needs and still keep pace with people on the track. That's kind of the reason why you would want to have this in your set bag of tricks when you go out to a track. All right, so we're done talking about the Eco and the Emax motors. Now, I'm going to have 2 of these quads that are going to be completely the same with the setup. You already saw the other quad that I'm going to be rebuilding. Now, I saw on, I think it was the other day, what is it? This motor. And I've been thinking, you know what? It's a $15 motor from T Motors. Are you serious? Every time I've bought a motor from T Motor, it's been anywhere from 26 to 25 bucks. And great motor, power's there, everything's, pretty much there. Durability, I'm going to say on most like T Motor stuff, I hate to tell you guys, I would give it like out of 1 out of 5, I give it like a pretty strong 3.5. I've blown up lots of T Motors, but the power and just the power is there, I would give it a 5 out of 5. But I got these motors thinking, I'm running 1900 kV on the racetrack. I should start getting used to having, 1950 kV 6S on freestyle, just so you can kind of get your flow back and get going. Well, I got these, and I wanted to take a look at them. I saw the power, and they're not too bad. I wouldn't mind testing them with different props. But T-Motor, I mean, it looks pretty decent. Is the balance and everything there? I mean, here, let's open one of these up. Now, both of these motors, the Ecos and this T-Motor, 2208 to Victory, 1950 kV, guys. This motor. Okay. This motor is probably going to be going on a freestyle. I bought 6 of these motors to test them out and see how they are. If you guys know anything about these motors, post them down on the comment below and let me know what you guys think about them. I'm just about to hop into these motors and check them out. I'm still blown away from the Mamba stack. I'm actually quite surprised with this. If you pair it to a good motor, and you don't I will tell you guys, I overdrew on everything. 6S was retarded. Like, I got the 6S bug by Jason Bonsla showing me all these 6S shit, and I was like, oh god. I need the speed. And I can show you some of my rigs that were just that are made for ridiculous speed, but man, the battery life is like a minute 50, minute 30 when you're flying if you're pushing hard. And that's why I'm going back to the lower KV style racing now, guys. What is up, Damian Bailey? How's it going? From night ripping at the local pizza plaza. Oh hell yeah, bro! That is freaking awesome. They don't deserve. Yeah, Joshua. I totally understand that. Now let me switch this camera back. Woo! What's up, everybody? Now we got the camera switch back. I'm gonna be doing a live build here soon of what I'm doing for my races, and I'm gonna tell you guys I'm gonna be going to the Phoenix Cup. I want to let all those Phoenix boys understand here soon. I'm moving. I'll be moving down there for probably 8 to 10 months. I'm gonna go hit all the New Mexico races, the Phoenix races, and all of the what are they called? Right before the season ends, the Vegas race and California races. I'm gonna be moving all my shit down there and getting hooked up with you guys and hitting those multi GP tracks because that's what it's all about. I'm gonna try to go get that championship. Hopefully, try to be a part of that. So, see you guys soon. I'll appreciate the love, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, I am getting ready. It's going to be a minute, guys. It will be a little bit before I do head down to Phoenix because I'm getting all my parts and ready. Because this last time I went, I learned so many lessons. So I learned bring enough parts to train for and bring enough parts to when you wreck to get it. Because when you wreck, it sucks going home and saying, well, I'm out of the game for 2 or 3 days. I'm waiting on parts and I spent $40 on shipping just so I could get back in the air. No, this time I'm getting all my ducks lined in a row, getting all my parts ready. So when I do get down there, I'm not buying anything. All I have to do is when I come home from a practice or from racing, I can actually just, oh, I got 3 or 4 hours of rebuilding to do and I'm back on action. I'm back ready to kill it. I have been training a lot in Billings, but it's really hard to go out and fly right now because we're always in snow. And I'm going at the worst time down to Phoenix because by the time the snow quits here, the heat's going to go kicking up there. And it's going to be really hard for a lot of people that are down there that go fly. I love the heat. That's just me. I love the heat. I can stay out in the heat underneath the shade and go rip, but sometimes my quads don't like the heat. I've exploded. Don't go down there with fucking corrosion or what is it called? Stuff you waterproof your stuff on the quad with. I went down there and it was too hot and I was burning up stuff because it wasn't doing the correct heat dispersion because I waterproofed everything. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching the channel. This is both on Facebook and on YouTube. If you guys have not, post down below on Facebook. Post in the group on My Flight's Better Than Yours. Keep posting those beautiful pics. And guys, please, yes, Damian Bailey, you're correct. Conformal coating, when you're out in the hot, don't work too well. Uh, but guys, also get down there and keep fighting for our right to keep flying. I look at it as I got some bad news to tell you what happened to me. I had to close down my store, Rimrock UAV. It was just because of just what's going on in the news and all the stuff that my store was about open, and then all the stuff that was coming down the pipeline and just things that were not happening so well in my neck of the woods. I decided to kind of take a couple step back and close my store for a little bit. I'm still going to be doing aerial photography and a bunch of other things with Rimrock UAV. I'm just not going to be selling like toys and stuff for right now. I'm going to relaunch. I'm just going to take a couple step back and focus on you guys, focus on this, focus on having fun and getting back to the sport of FPV and multi-GP and all that race goodness. Like I said, it's that little thing right back behind me, DRL, I will be on that. One of these days, you will see me on that. Thank you guys for staying tuned. See you guys later. Much love. Hey, Damien, much love to all you guys saying, hey, what's up? How's it going? See you guys later.